This is a killer Phoenix game. So these three heroes from Nemiga, they do nothing to the Phoenix. And if you get one hero that is good at, let's say, using the BKB and going for the egg, the Lina rips him apart just with the right clicks if he goes for that build, which he probably will. Usually we see those travels BKB into right clicks, though who knows? Who knows? It might not be that way. But still, that is a perfect Phoenix pick. Whatever Nemiga get right now, it's not gonna be easy to play against it. It's a solid Jugger game. But I don't know how much you wanna play the Jugger, especially with no buffs to your damage, no Magnuses, no Beastmasters, nothing along those lines. But when you look at Shadow Shaman, if he lanes with the Jugger, it's actually a pretty decent lane. Delina doesn't like playing against physical damage. Even if you have a BKB, the Jugger can cut you down. He pretty much destroys the egg easily by himself. And for now, HYDRA have nothing to stop that one. So maybe they can get a BKB piercing disable. Something like a Bane does come to mind. Would actually be quite nice, especially when you have Delina and you want to play around her at the in the early stages of the game, around the mid lane.
Yeah, Bane's always solid. Like, pretty lane dominating. Pos 5 brings a lot of control. But instead, they're actually going to go for the Snapfire. So, yeah, once again, going to be playing this Phoenix as the 5 for kicked. And then Koval on the Snapfire this time. I mean, there is a possibility it could go the other way around. But I think Sumazao kicked obviously played it in that game number 1. Maybe they're just going to dump on him again. Did a good enough job. No need to change things up too much. Now, Nemiga going to probably grab their mid laner right now to try and combat this this Lina in that lane.
Maybe Lifestealer. Maybe you just pick up a Lifestealer right now. You're up against 3 strength heroes. You have decent attack speed to kill the egg. No BKB piercing disables. Long drawn-out fights are a possibility. The problem is if you get a Lifestealer is the damage. Then Visage is gonna have to be bringing these heroes down, and I'm not so sure if he can do so. Timber also an option. Then that takes away the Visage 3 potential. But actually, I would be okay with the Timber as well. 3 strength heroes, quite nice. Wouldn't be too bad. We'll go for the Kunkka.
Kunkka again. So I assume... yeah, that's just going to be in the hands of Kirich. I mean, sometimes you see it a lot as POS 1. But I think it lanes quite well versus the Lina. You know, Tidebringer hits are generally going to connect on her each time. Should be able to just trade CS in that certain lane situation. So, yeah, both teams leaving the POS 1 as their final pick. I mean, like you're saying as well with the Lifestealer potential from Nemiga, you do obviously have the Clockwork combo as well. So Infest into Hookshot is just such a fantastic means of initiation as well. So definitely a possibility there for Nemiga. Unless HYDRA potentially ban it out. It remains to be seen. They did decide to take away the Ursa though.
This was a good Ursa game. I actually forgot about him. He deals with the egg so well, and when you look at heroes on the side of HYDRA, Lina, Phoenix, Snapfire, they don't have a lot of armor, and you could even argue at the later portions of the game that the DK won't have enough to deal with him. They ban out the Seeker, though I would be okay if I'm HYDRA with the Seeker. He uses the BKB and he can get down the egg with the extra attack speed from his first spell, but the Lina rips him apart. That is the problem. Now the boat kind of helps there, you know. You have 4 heroes that pretty much bring the flames. You bring in the fire. You bring in the water. It's definitely gonna be helping you a bit to survive. But the Seeker, I still think he would just get annihilated if he would go for the egg. I'm not sure what Nemiga go for. It's a tough one, but they still have a lot of flex. You know, it could be a Visage carry, could be a Kunkka mid, could be the other way around, and then you pick up an offlaner. It's still a possibility, an unlikely one, but still there.
Yeah, I feel like Nemiga can probably play the disengage game a lot easier this time round because, you know, there's not a Mars Arena, there's not a Dream Coil to trap everyone, keep them locked in. So, yeah, they might just try and dodge the egg as much as possible in this game. Wraith King was the hero of choice there, which is all right, I guess. It's not really jumping out at me right now, though.
There's so many stuns on HYDRA. You spoke, they don't have the arena, but they have so many stuns, and you'll go for the Luna. Nemiga are again gonna be going for the same type of lineup. You know, it is not a TA, but it is still a farming hero. So you have the Kunkka and the Luna that are very greedy, and then you're gonna have these 3 heroes that can with the Kunkka fight. Now, of course, the Luna can fight a little bit earlier than the TA, but the question is how much in your Lucent Beam are you actually willing to take? In my mind, HYDRA here, Nemiga kind of have the same draft, and HYDRA have a bit of an evolved draft in a sense that they are better at taking down towers. Both of their supports are pretty good at coming towards the mid lane, which is something that the Lina likes. Wraith King and the Dragon Knight are good at staying alone. They're good at pushing the towers, which means Nemiga, and they don't have to commit for them too much. In my mind, Nemiga, they only win this if they are able to punish the DK every single time that he comes to pushing the tower. Whenever the DK uses the form, you come with the Kunkka, you axe him, you kill him fast, and then you come back to the mid to deal with the Lina and not allow her to push. That needs to happen over and over again until you get that farm and fight. And I don't think that it's super easy to do in this game in particular.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of it does depend on the old laning phase. If it goes a bit easier for them, they might, you know, have that little bit of extra time and space to get those items online. That remains to be seen. One thing I will say is that Kicked isn't actually playing the Phoenix this time round. They decided to put it into the hands of Koval for the POS 4 instead.
Interesting. I know that he plays the Phoenix as well, but just not as much as the IO or the Hoodwink. So I'm curious to see how much he's gonna be doing on this one. I would have liked to see an offlane Snapfire. You know, Luna isn't a melee hero, but she does have really low range, so she does get close. True. There's double stuns that's a lot of damage. But I guess they're thinking like this: the DK is gonna be fine in that lane either way, so we might as well take away some. But I'd rather Cowell or the Phoenix take away the Wraith King's experience than the DK. Either way, I'm kind of looking at how this early game will go. When I say not the laning phase, but as we're coming out of it, and I think it's gonna be quite easy for HYDRA to do whatever they want. They just bring the supports towards the Lina, they force out TPs, and suddenly the Wraith King and the DK can just push down their towers. That's an easy way to open up the map. Once you get the blinks, then you just start running towards the enemies. That is how I think this game is gonna go. So I'm looking towards the Nemiga to change it.
Yeah, definitely got good rotation from those supports, like you were saying. And Nemiga, they've actually gone for something a little bit different. They did a very late smoke, charging to the jungle. They do see Rary, but just no one was close enough to get the slow or stun. So, unfortunately, they don't really net anything off of that. So it's probably going to be a 3-for-1 bounty trade, seeing as how Kirich stayed up there towards the top. I mean, Rary and Kicked was actually, you know, posturing quite aggressively there towards that Radiant bounty room, but yeah, quite rightly so. They decided to back off once they saw 3 heroes there.
Cool approach from Nemiga. They got 3 runes because of it. It's always nice to see a nice play like that. This is what happens when you have a guy that's been on a team forever, like Chosen One, and then you constantly have these strats, something that you have practiced, that you have tried out in scrims, that you don't often see, even when a tier 1 team comes out. You know, you just maybe aren't thinking about those kind of little plays that's gonna give you just a slight advantage, like the rune. Yeah,
it is very weird to have a smoke popped at like, I don't know, 30 seconds into the pre-horn. It's quite rare, which is always cool to see. You know, Vanscourt just doing clockwork things, running around with the battery salt, being annoying, but just really trading blows there with Koval. Both of them going to be chewing through a fair chunk of their regeneration here at the start of their second game. So far, the Lina's actually doing very nicely in the mid. 7-1 to the 4-0 of Monreal. Obviously has a couple more creeps to go yet. But the LSA as well as the Torrent both land, so no one can get the last hit or deny. Interesting exchange.
I think the lane to look out for is the bottom one. There's multiple stuns and there's a ton of damage, and we can see Heaven already taking a lot of it. Oh, is he gonna die?
Yeah. Ooh, one more right click. Oh, the Fairy Fires keeps him alive. Oh, that Soul Assumption from Chosen One.
He has
does
6.
so much damage. Loses the vision though. Didn't actually have enough mana for the second one regardless. But yeah, it's like you're saying, tons of damage just so early on. Everyone's still only level 1, but regardless, that's a lot. A lot of regen that's going to have to be brought out here.
Yeah, at the start of the lane, while we were looking at the top lane, Rory almost died, so the salve was used. But I liked what HYDRA did. They understood the strength of the Shadow Shaman and the Visage, and when you know that the enemy lane is stronger than yours, you just pull the creeps in the tower, you get the level 2 first, and you try to strike. That's exactly what they did. They forced out the regen from Heaven. Now it's gonna be an even playing ground, given that they use their salves early on.
Yeah. You know, it's just standard POS 5 life, constantly having to spend all of your hard-earned money on regen for somebody else. It always feels rough, you know. It takes ages to get just a pair of simple boots online. But hey, it's all for the betterment of the team. So keep on spending that gold. Get those salves coming in.
Luckily for
There's a lot.
Koval, that the ICQ is DK, so he pretty much won't be needing too much regen. As soon as he gets level 3, that is when his death is gonna become impossible. But since he's level 2, this is actually a pretty good go.
Yeah. Gonna be doing some nice harassment here. The right click from Kirich doing some work with the battery assault. They can't quite get on top. Actually, gonna change direction to Koval, but yeah, he's got the Icarus dive. Just in case he even needed it, but Nerves of Steel holds onto it. And yeah, this mid, it's still favoring Arskov right now, getting tons of denies. 18-8 to just the 11-0 here of Monreal. And yeah, just continuously land those LSAs. Meanwhile, bot is actually where the first blood is found. Whew, Rary nearly getting traded off there with a soul assumption. Survives with a sliver of HP. Very close.
You just want to survive while the Visage has the mana. Oh, they're gonna go for Chosen One again. For some reason, I guess those little skellies, they just respawned after Rory used the Raid Fire Blast. Not all of them went for the Visage. But now when Chosen One doesn't have the mana, suddenly this offlane of Nemiga just isn't that powerful. So we're probably gonna be seeing a ceasefire for just a second until Chosen One, with the help of the Basilius, gets his mana back. Because Nemiga, without the constant spam of Soul Assumption, they just aren't that powerful.
Yeah, that is the vast majority of their damage. I mean, back when the standard meta for Shadow Shamans was pretty much to max Ether Shot, you always get a good amount of control, but I think it's a standard now to like max Shackles over everything else, just for all the extra control, especially when you go Roche. Jeez, look at Rory taking such a beating again. His level 2 Soul Assumption hit just hurts incredibly, and that's going to have to be... Oh, actually, it's not even a salve. Just going to have to slowly tick up there with the Tango, so going to be an opportunity here maybe for Nemiga to try and go for another kill into the Wraith King as he's so low.
We'll see, we'll see.
Heaven thinking about it. Oh, meanwhile at the top, Vanscourt is trapped inside his own cogs, and he actually gets brought down right there. Always got to be careful. You know, it's like a double-edged blade, that skill.
Yeah, and Kowal took all of the experience from the DK, so he's level 3. We already talked about it in the previous games, how much it means for the Fire Spirits to be level 2. Level 1 Fire Spirits do nothing. Level 2 Fire Spirits are a big, actually a huge chunk of damage. It's even more than double from level 1. So that is why it's going to be so tough right now. If you go for the DK, you are not going to be able to kill him, and the Phoenix is just... constantly dishing out the damage from the back. It's just a tough one for Nemiga right now, and at some point ICQ will be left alone here in the top lane, and the one where you want to play around is going to be the Lina. Though again, they're going to go for Vanscourt. That's a ton of damage.
Dive forward, just baiting out the cogs right now.
He's dead.
Vanscourt actually still so low. They're Fire Spirits, yeah. Easy pick off. Didn't really have to commit too much to get
Bottom
that
lane.
one. Ooh, Chosen One super low, not actually enough mana there or anything, or on cooldown for the Fire Snap or Scatter Blast, so does manage to get away, but again, no salves. So it's going to take a while before the Chosen One's nice and healthy again. I mean, it feels like the 7-minute ceasefire, it's not really existent in this game. There's just constant aggression coming out from all of these lanes right now.
Boo, Hydra. Boo. I mean, it's insane. Imagine you just get into an agreement with, even if it's with your enemies, and then someone just breaks it. It's just such a bad move. So Hydra, you can see that Nemiga are still following that rule despite their enemies not doing so. They're at 0 kills. Once the 7-minute mark comes out, then we can expect those kills to come out. And Vanscourt, he's going for Ascol.
Yeah, they're going for him. He's going to get trapped right now inside the cogs. The TP's coming in here from the Phoenix, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save their life, especially seems like Heaven, just to get those shackles. So 2 supports from Nemiga rotate on in. And that's a very nice kill to guarantee. I think...
bottom lane.
At one point they were top net worth. Yeah, Catapult Wave doing a lot of work here to this tier 1.
Hydra just using their space. So, as we mentioned, I did expect Hydra supports to rotate to the mid first, so that actually Nemiga are responding with TPs. But sure, this is good enough. You might have lost the Lina. It is a big kill. She has been crushing that mid lane. Not anymore, of course. But the bottom lane tower falls immediately, and that's going to make life tough for Nemiga. So... when they want to push this bottom lane tower, it's gonna be quite tough, especially if the DK gets a relatively early blink.
Yeah, very, very rare that you actually see a safe laner take out the tower before the off laner does. But it does happen every now and then. I mean, it seems less rare when you're called Rare E, you know. Must have been it. But yeah, that's a very, very nice start to the Wraith King. Plenty of space for him now to just carry on farming up. Even now to have the option to farm up the jungle at the same time to really amplify his DPS. Or GPM, I should say. DPS, something completely different.
Either way, if there's a hero that, if there's a safe laner that takes the tower down early, it's definitely the Wraith King. And now mid lane, Asgold, he needs to be careful. He cannot die again. And finally, the supports are going to be coming in. Triple man stun.
Three-man cookie into the Gooner Blade. Vanscore just gets absolutely obliterated. There is going to be the X-Mark boat to make space. So Monreal maybe could run away, but Rary, he's getting involved right now. He's took down his tower, and he's like, I'm going to come take out the mid laner as well. Easy 2 kills there for HYDRA. I thought maybe he might have like stuck around to try and push into the tower, but no, he just wants to go back to farming. He's done his part. You know, it's very rare when you'd see a POS 1 get involved so early when it's not a Nature's Prophet or something, but that is a very good first rotation.
There it is. Everyone in the mid. The side lanes are free. The bottom tower has fallen. Now the mid lane will fall as well. And once you start pushing in those lanes, it's going to be very easy to play around the mid lane around Lina. She's your main damage dealer. And Asgold isn't even going to go for the Boots of Travel first. He wants that BKB. He understands the importance of him surviving because he is the main target for Nemiga. There is no one else on the core side that they can bring down easily without putting themselves in a nasty position. So Nemiga definitely not looking great. As I said, I wanted Monreal to just hunt the DK every single time, but focusing too much on the Lina, this is what's gonna happen. Even if they would have gotten the second kill, you would have still lost the 2 towers, which in Dota it's gonna be a big problem because your farm is definitely gonna be suffering, and you have a Luna and a Kunkka. These 2 farm very, very fast.
Yeah, and just going to have to try and make space so I should get times online. It looks like they're going to get a free pick here onto Kicked, and yeah, that's a pretty simple one to grab, which, you know, it's not like it's a super high priority kill, but every little bit helps, especially the kill going over towards the POS 3 there, the Chosen One. Always going to be nice. But yeah, but just like, the gold leads teeter in between like 2,000 to 3,000 gold at sub 10 minutes in with 2 towers already gone. It's a very dominant lead here from HYDRA. It just depends if they can actually keep this lead going. Asgold going in for the BKB first. I mean, sometimes you see the bots picked up, but yeah, he wants that safety. Yeah, the egg gets committed. All the fire spirits land, so this attack speed super slow. The cookie's coming forward. It's going to be able to keep it alive. No, the final right click just barely comes on in. And it looks like the rest of Nemiga's going to be able to get out. The haste rune from Vanscore keeps him alive. So as it stands, it's a trade of support, but seeing as how ICQ, he's already popped the DK form. He's in the mid with a catapult. This tower is now under siege. And Nemiga, I think they've already expended too much to try and mount some sort of big defense. They might just have to let it go right now.
Yeah, no boat means that ICQ cannot die. It's that simple, and the Clockwork doesn't even have level 6. Luna, 1 point in Lucent Beam, no points in the Eclipse. The DK doesn't die. That's the map open, and now you take away the enemy top jungle. It's still okay for Nemiga, but that's only because the DK doesn't have his blink just yet. Once he gets it, okay, Kiritich, nice read.
Ooh, yeah, just decides to TP down to the bottom. Yeah, all 3 towers gone, 11 minutes in. Just so much space here for a HYDRA to play around. It looks like they're going to be able to take down this tier 1 at the bot lane. There's clearly HYDRA not going to bother committing any heroes to try and defend it. I mean, they don't really need to. They've got plenty of other control of the rest of the map. It's not really essential that they play around their own jungle anymore.
Yeah. Though you do want to prevent the Luna from farming deep into your jungle here if you're HYDRA. So a perfect game for them right now would be if they could get a ward on the bottom lane just to see where the Luna is, and then if Kiritich gets a little bit ahead of himself without his friends, you just hunt him. Of course, for that to happen, you need the blink on ICQ DK, so I'm expecting HYDRA to wait for that blink and smoke towards the bottom lane. You might not get kills, but you want to leave a ward there for future moves, and then you are easily gonna be doing the hunting.
Yeah. Speaking about hunting, Nemiga, they're all grouped up right now. Vanscore is looking for the hook shot. Doesn't quite want to commit himself, though. I guess they just didn't have enough information to play around. So, looks like Kick going to be able to evade death this time. But you can see they're just constantly moving as this three-man movement. Munreal with his support duo always behind him. Seeing if either HYDRA try getting aggressive onto them, or, you know, if they just stumble across someone, they can always just hookshot or X-mark Torrent. And they'd have all the control in the world to find a free kill. And another pause. I was saying, we didn't get any pauses for the first series, but pauses galore here.
You had to jinx it. You had to jinx it. You had to open your mouth and say, yo, it's cool. We have no pauses. That's what you had to do. And you could have just
I couldn't help myself.
You could have just ignored it.
I couldn't help it. I like,
okay. Okay.
Maybe next time. You know, next tomorrow, when I'm casting tomorrow, as soon as I see a pause, I'm going to say absolutely nothing. I'm going to just pretend that the game's carrying on going and just cast some invisible game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
From my part, you're forgiven, but I don't know about chat. If they start chasing you with pikes and such, you're on your own. Either way, right now Nemiga they have to fight. You have the hookshot. You're the only team that has the initiation. The thing is, HYDRA are now waiting for their items. They have accumulated a lead that they should be happy with, and their team fight is actually stronger than that of Nemiga. So Nemiga should be going in. The problem is that look at HYDRA. They're actually in such a good position baiting enemies in, and Monreal, he's gonna be aware of this.
Yeah, rarely he stepped out of those trees just a little bit too early there. Like, maybe they could have got a little bit more of a bait into there, but, you know, he was too excited. He was like, I want to kill. I want to go in. I mean, it is the armlet completed up with his face boot. So this man is tanky, and he does a lot of damage as well. So it's going to be quite important for Nemiga to try and evade him, unless they have, like, all 5 heroes going for the gank onto the Wraith King. It's just a very difficult kill to try and find, especially with the 2 lives. He's even going for the Blink Dagger as his next item. So that just shows you how HYDRA want to carry on playing this game. Sometimes you see a Wraith King go for like a Desolator just for, you know, a bit of extra damage. Also helps him farm a bit faster at the same time. But Blink is just a clear indication that he wants to get on top of people's faces and start causing some real havoc.
And at the same time where his Lina is ready, Lina will have a BKB, the DK is ready with the Blink, and you want to fight. Now, Nemiga don't have that timing where the enemy's Vanscore used this hook shot onto nothingness, and now he's gonna die as well.
Yeah. He tried to deny a DD there for Arsgold, but just didn't quite work out for him. And they're actually picking out Roche right now. They're going to move on in. I mean, with this DD on the Lina, they should be able to do it. Even going to pop the DK form for good measure. And there just isn't really any vision here from Nemiga in the area to realize this is going on. So this should just be a freebie. And they are coming. I don't know if they're going to get it fast enough. It's dropping so fast.
Kunkka?
Unreal?
Torrent? Oh no, he got
he just gets jumped on. He's just a goner, even committing the Mormon's kisses. He gets taken on out. In comes the rest of the Nemiga. They found the initiation potentially there on to kick. The shackles doesn't last too long at all. And he just gets Laguna bladed into the back. And now the wards are also going to get farmed up. And Roshan is still going to end up falling down.
This is what happens when... oh, just a second. Kicked.
Ooh, kicked? Okay, I think he got a little bit too confident there. But, you know, regardless, they still did what they need to do.
He is trying to keep the morale up on Nemiga because, you know, you want to beat your enemies at their best because then you know that you're better. And HYDRA, they're definitely looking like a better team right now than Nemiga. The problem with that smoke from Nemiga is that there was only one angle that they could come from, and that is the pretty much their side of the map. If you take down the mid lane tower, you can come even from the enemy high ground, and then you can catch HYDRA off guard. HYDRA, they just needed one ward there. They caught the Kunkka with it, and they easily fought on it as well because there was no other way for Nemiga to join that fight because of the mid lane tower. So this is the problem with towers early on. You've only taken the bottom one, and HYDRA, what a nice call to go for that throw. Sure, they did get some help from the heavens with the DD, but still, now they have a Aegis, and the tier 2 pushes can commence. First of all, you push out the waves, and then Nemiga are gonna start panicking. You have two moves there. Try to outpush the waves and outsmart your opponents, which is hard, or just stay clumped up together with 2 heroes that should be farming the entirety of the map.
Yeah, I think the one saving grace from so far is the fact that the Lina is still pretty up there in terms of net worth. Like, she's not really falling behind. She's finding the space to keep her farm going. And, you know, she's 700 gold away from BKB if she chooses to dismantle Dragonlance, of course. So, you know, they do have the option of actually taking a 5-on-5 fight if HYDRA forces it upon them, which looks like they might just do right now as they're moving in with this smoke. It gets popped. ICQ get the immediate jump there on towards Heaven. The quick Hex, you know, just delays his death by about a couple of seconds. Vanscore even just TPing out nice and safe. But, you know, with a smoke gank, you only lose your support. It's not too bad of a trade. But HYDRA, they're going to keep this going and just going to start working onto this tier 2 right now.
Beautiful Dota from HYDRA. They used the Lina to push out the bottom lane. As soon as he did, they TP'd there for a potential if Nemiga are gonna jump him. No one was there. As soon as no one is there, you don't want to stay on the bottom lane for too long. You smoke and you go towards the top. It doesn't matter that you only found one kill. Your main objective is this tower. After the tower is taken, it's gonna be much easier. So Nemiga know they have to fight right now, but it's pretty much a 5 versus 7 because there's an Aegis plus the ulti on the Wraith King.
Just look how they're playing around their vision as well. They drop that ward up on the high ground, and they're just making sure they hug these trees. They get as much information as they possibly can right now. And both teams, it's just a standoff. They're so close to each other. The hook shot, it actually gets landed there on towards the Luna. They drag that back in, but it is going to be the Aegis, but in comes the rest of the team. They get the stun on towards the Luna. He's going to pop the BKB, but still down goes the Shadow Shaman. Arskel stuck inside these Serpent walls right now, but still manages to find the space to kill Vanscore. And the egg up to the north side of the fight gives the space and just forces everyone from Nemiga to disengage right now. This tier 2 is still super low, so HYDRA's probably, you know, feeling like they have to commit to try and take it on out. Chosen One coming forward, but in comes the Wraith King. They get the immediate stun. They're on towards the village. They're locking him down. This Wraith King, though, is getting control from the familiar stuns. But the Chosen One, unfortunately, the LSA easily lands, and they're going to be able to farm up all of the familiars as well. Oh, actually, I say that? No, yeah, it does.
Okay, so Nemiga, they lost heroes and they lost the tower, but they burned through the reincarnation and the Aegis. So at least they got something. Monreal, okay, he got that DD, nicely done. Now it's time for a smoke from Nemiga. It's time for them to run at HYDRA like there's no tomorrow, because this is the timing that you have been waiting for. You just go right now.
And it's a good way to start, finding a freebie there onto the Snapfire. Down for 30 seconds. They might finally be able to take down this tier 1 tower in the mid with this. I mean, maybe. It depends how hard they want to commit for it. But it feels kind of important to remove this tower. It survived way too long. Like, should never really be up still at this point in the game.
This is the thing, even if you would smoke now on the side of Nemiga, that mid lane tower is a problem for you. And HYDRA, they have a lot of poke. The Breathe Fire, the Dragon Slave, the Fire Spirits from the Phoenix. It's enough to kind of give Nemiga a red light towards that tower. They can't do it, and they're just gonna go back. This is a problem. Sure, they got a nice pickup there on the Snapfire, but it just slowed them down. Even if they would have smoked, it would have been just that one kill. And you can see how HYDRA spread around immediately. They want to push out the waves and keep that downtime of the Wraith King's ulti as least of a problem as possible, and then as soon as they're ready, they're going to be striking again. The top part of the map is definitely going to be the part where HYDRA will take it away, and Nemiga playing only the triangle 19 minutes in is going to be a big hit to the economy.
Yeah, I mean, already 6k gold behind at 19 minutes in. That's a fair old wedge of dosh right there. I mean, still, even after that, Kirich is fine. Obviously, he wasn't one of the people to die in that previous engagement. He was, I think he even got a couple of kills in that last fight. Can't actually tell. Actually, you can scroll up on the feed. I learned this not too long ago, that you can actually scroll on the feed to the left, which is incredible. Changed my life when I figured that out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, did you know that?
No. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm a professional caster, and I know all of those things perfectly. So.
Yeah, someone in chat told me like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, wow, that is incredibly useful information. But yeah, changes your life. But yeah, like you were saying, with this Wraith King ultimate down still for another 40 odd seconds, maybe they could have made something happen, but it looks like they just want to carry on farming up. Kirich gonna recomplete that Dragon Lance by the looks, and then what do you think he's gonna queue into next? Skadi perhaps, or maybe just like a raw DPS item like a Daedalus?
I think,
yeah.
I don't know. You have to go Daedalus. I don't see a different approach. Daedalus plus the shard. That is or Crystallis shard into Daedalus. they're lacking damage on the side of Nemiga. They're definitely lacking damage, and he needs to have a way to dish out as much as possible during the duration of his BKB. And the shard is, of course, if it comes to a point where he can't get close to it, he can at least do something. So I think, yeah, Crystallis, he's already queued it up. He'll go into shard and into a Daedalus. I think that's the best approach. Maybe you get a silver edge, but still you have to go raw damage here for sure, because that's something that Nemiga are lacking. I also want to go back to that last fight. I mean, Nemiga, they did an awesome job with the hook shot, push cogs, then the torrent onto the Lina. They just bursted the Lina down, put her in a really bad spot just at the start of that fight. So Nemiga have shown now to HYDRA that they have what it takes to defend these towers. So HYDRA are gonna think twice when approaching those for sure. Heaven?
Just casually walking between a few heroes. Oh, nice reactions there with the Hex to get the grab onto Rary, but they don't want to play off it. He's just trying to run away. He's doing ring around the rosies right now, but unfortunately, you just can't ring fast enough. And he does get taken out. Obviously, you know, just 30-second respawn. He's not gone for long. But I guess the next main objective is just going to be Roshan yet again. But, I mean, I say that, and HYDRA are actually going for a smoke move right now. So they're going to try and see if they can net some sort of kill. Oh, Kirich is just off to their right, but they don't actually see him. So very fortunate there for the Luna. Instead, they find Munreal. He is just gone. Still no... Oh, he did have the BKB, but he was just unlocked forever. He didn't have the opportunity to pop it and run away. And that is a very high priority one to find. Down for 40 seconds. And look, they just draw an arrow to charge back into their own jungle. The Chosen One is down here. And he's actually just about to complete his Wraith Pact, which he has, yeah, now just finished up.
That's a big deal.
Even TPing away to avoid this gank.
That's a big deal, because when you look at HYDRA, they have all of these single target stuns, so they're quite good at destroying a hero from 100 to 0. If you're able to keep your Luna alive, for her to pop a BKB, get some of the hits in with the Mask of Bandit's lifesteal, it's going to be quite big. Though, I really liked what HYDRA did there. They TP'd a lot of heroes to the top lane. You don't want to be there, of course, and then you immediately smoke out. So Nemiga, they could have read that one, but the thing is that it was super fast for the side of HYDRA, that the Kunkka got caught just by pushing out the mid lane, which you're like, I have to do this or my tier 2 is going to take a massive amount of damage. So HYDRA, they did everything nicely, and Nemiga, even though they read that move, they just weren't ready for it because they were too slow.
Yeah, they were grouped up. Look, they were trying to go for a jump onto ICQ, but didn't quite have the opportunity. One thing I'm going to point out is that Koval is doing something that I see far too few people actually doing, which is holding on to the trusty shovel in his backpack. Because just swapping that in every minute, that's like a potential free bounty rune every minute, which is extremely strong. But for some reason, just people don't really bother. Like just free resources and stuff. And all it takes up is one backpack. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's annoying to think about it. It's a drag, you know?
All about that efficiency, my friend. All about it. Oh, we do see smoke on smoke. ICQ lean the charge, gets the immediate stun on towards it. But yeah, so is the Lina getting stuck in there. Going to try and run away with the BKB, but this is too much damage. They still drop. Egg gets committed, but where is the protection? There's absolutely none. That still ends up falling. The buyback was actually also expended there for Arsgold. Going to try and get back into this fight. Actually, I think they died with the B. Yeah, they died with TP on cooldown, so he can't even get back in. Oh, that's a huge mistake there from Arsgold. Just wastes his buyback completely.
If he doesn't buy back there, though, they lose the Roche. So it's a tough call. But with that fight, Nemiga, if they take this tower down, it's not going to be equal. No, Kunkka is going to be caught. They don't have their spells.
Yeah, all the lockdown in the world. They're keeping him controlled. Actually, he's going to be able to survive. Maybe get on the target. He can't. Just too much damage. And now they're in full retreat. Rary, blink dagger forwards. Nice Lucent beam there to make space for Heaven, who's just going for the TP out. But still, actually, he's going to cancel it. They want to try and turn this fight around right now. The buyback from the Kunkka. The rest of the team focus onto Arsgold. She's just dead. Die back from them. And now Wraith King versus the world. He's all on his own. There is Koval just off to the side now, and he's actually able to get that blink dagger off. Very quick reactions. But can they get the X mark? Not looking like it. Nice cookie to disengage, but in comes Vanscore, the fantastic hook, pushing him back in towards the torrent. Absolute fantastic combinations there from Nemiga, and both position 1 and 2 are dead. Tier 1 tower gone, and Roshan's about to go as well. That is precisely what Nemiga wanted to start bringing themselves back on into this game.
Man, ass cold. Everyone is looking at him right now like, what the hell are you doing? He runs there onto the mid lane, but the side of Nemiga, they were so prepared for it. The Lina dying at the start of the fight, the main damage dealer of HYDRA, the one that needs to delete an enemy hero, just dies at the start, and now he even died back. That's a big hit to his economy, and 3k gold lead for HYDRA, but look at who's at the top of the network chart with no one even close. Kiritich is so strong. He has the shard, he has the chrysalis, and the silver edge will come out. This guy will be, or already is, a big problem.
Massive problem, yeah. Only 600 gold and that silver edge is up. And yeah, the game, which felt super, you know, in the hands of HYDRA, they were feeling really comfortable. All of a sudden now, they're going to be panicking a little bit. They're going to have to sort of reevaluate how they take these fights. But yeah, just that dieback on the Lina is absolutely massive. Like, just decided to come back in through the river, and then there was 3 people from Nemiga just waiting for them to walk up on the high ground. And yeah, the easiest pick-off in the world.
I have to say I'm impressed with both of these teams. Nemiga, they're getting this game back. Sure, it is a slight mistake from the Lina, but it is a mistake that they were prepared for. It's not like the Lina walked up the high ground and just died. They prepared for her. They knew where she was gonna appear, or where someone is gonna appear, and they were there waiting for him. And now ICQ, he might just need to pop his BKB here if he wants to live. Okay.
Yeah, he was gambling to see if he got the rune. Does actually end up spawning bottom regardless, which will be an arcane. Who cares about an arcane? Like on their squad.
Well,
maybe the Luna just for faster
nice.
Beams?
Yeah, I guess that's quite nice. But yeah, they'll bottle it on the Kunkka. Both having lower cooldown is quite nice. They're pinging the high ground. They want Kiritich to lead the way. The problem is that HYDRA are already in the enemy base. And look at this. There is no glyph on the side of Nemiga. If they continue going this route, they might just go for a trade and then start panic TPing. Okay, no. Actually, HYDRA are the one panic TPing, and they, not sure.
And yet,
forcing
Nemiga just back out.
Yeah, forcing out TPs is going to be good enough.
Yeah, this is really starting to feel like Nemiga are in the driving seat here of this game. Just fantastic engagements again and again. And then the Skadi is the next item of choice here from Kiritich after that silver edge. Still a few thousand gold away, mind you, but with this smoke, oh, they bump in towards Rary, but again, this man is just so quick on those blink daggers, but still the fight is going to happen. They got the connection to Vanscore, locking in the clock, right? He's just gone, and yeah, Nemiga caught with their pants down right now, and Kirich is going to have to try and run himself away. He does have the BKB. Actually, just the silver edge run is good enough. And there was a quickening charm just on the floor. Was that Nemiga's quickening charm?
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Okay, so that gets stolen away, which is kind of nice.
HYDRA should be happy about that one. I'm impressed by both these teams. Again, you could see how Nemiga did that perfectly. I think they were a little bit late on the smoke. That is why HYDRA were so well prepared, but they pushed in the bottom lane. They waited for all the TPs, immediately smoked towards the enemy triangle. You want to take up that area, because then HYDRA will be forced to go towards the bottom lane, and that is where you can catch them easily. But HYDRA were prepared for that smoke so much. The Wraith King knew, that's why he blinked out so much. You could see that the DK was in good position to break that smoke, and then as soon as the smoke got broken, they had a ward, they blink out, and they actually get a beautiful turnaround going there. So both of the teams, they're always preparing traps for each other. For now, HYDRA, they still hold the lead, but we know who the strongest hero is. The problem with this Luna, though, is that there are no saves. Is there a Force Staff on their team? No, and they're playing against so many stuns, so it's gonna be the job of Vanscore to kind of break the fight with the hookshot and the cogs if the Lina gets jumped on, because he has no status resistance. If he gets stunned up, there is a good chance he's going down from 100 to 0.
Yeah, that is a very good point to make. Yeah, still 1 minute left of his Aegis. Might get one more fight actually before it expires. Both teams are relatively grouped up right now. They see the DK there in the mid there from Nemiga. Maybe they want to try and make a move. The rocket actually just perfectly scouts out 3 of them. So they get all the information. And yeah, they ping the high ground at the bottom yet again. Maybe thinking they could force all those TP rotations back once more. I mean, the creep wave, though, is relatively pushed out. So yeah, maybe they're actually going to wait for the tier 2 in the mid.
Now HYDRA are getting themselves back in the base. They want to surprise their opponents right now. And Nemiga, they might not know about this one. They have no vision. But still, they have the Aegis for 15 seconds. They're aware of the potential, so they're keeping themselves back.
Yeah, they constantly just keeping themselves here in the trees. Chosen One just popping onto it there with the familiars. Wraith Pact online, reducing all that damage, which feels good. And yeah, that's just a free tier 2 right there. Gotta feel happy about that one. And yeah, look, still HYDRA, they're all just huddled up in their like triangle high ground right now, just really afraid of that fog. Not wanting to get caught. I mean, the gold like difference has not changed in about 5 minutes. It's just been constantly 3k here for a HYDRA for a very long time.
Which is okay for HYDRA, considering that the enemies had the Aegis, so they didn't accomplish much other than the tier 2 in the mid lane. So, but still, that tier 2 in the mid lane is gonna make a lot of difference. Why? If Nemiga are able to force the TPs of HYDRA again towards the bottom lane and smoke once more the same move towards the enemy triangle, there's not gonna be a safe space for HYDRA to hide in and break that smoke like they had the last time. So that tower opening up right now actually creates a big difference on the map. The problem is, can Nemiga really get to the enemy base now without the Aegis? I'd say no, but okay, they had a good ward on the top part of the map, but it expired. So with that one expired, they really won't be able to utilize that mid lane tower being down for at least some time, until, let's say, they get another Roche.
Yeah, which, you know, potentially up in a minute 45, so not too far away. But you know what I was saying earlier about, you know, the shovel, just having their inventories nice? Koval has taken it one step further and also has the quickening charm. This guy is juggling 3 items right now. This is this must take some concentration to manage this much. Look, even swapping it out, gets a free bounty rune. Man is living his good life.
Maybe he is just keeping the quickening charm there just to annoy Nemiga, like, I have your item, you know? So
definitely the psychological warfare. There's always a value point.
Okay, when they're in a smoke, he's using it. Okay, it's not only that.
Oh, okay, that's good. I say, well, the psychological warfare, that's how OG pretty much won 2 TIs. Just get under the skin of your enemies and tilt them to victory. That's the best way. So, it does work.
You know,
not saying that's the only reason that OG won 2 TIs, but, you know, I think it's a strong part.
The second one definitely had a big part of that one. They were memeing and they were crushing everyone. In the first one, I think they were a bit more serious, though.
Yeah. I suppose they felt a bit more relaxed, you know. Already won 1 TI. The second, yeah, it's just a bonus. Already millionaires. May as well just increase your wallet size a bit more. So, yeah, the Roche potentially up in 20 seconds. Still a 5k gold rift here between Reri and Kiritic, who is about to complete his Skadi right now. Just needs 100 more gold. And then, yeah, definitely Nemiga going to be feeling quite happy to try and force an engagement. I mean, Manreal, he's trying to build into a Heaven's Halberd next, but he's 1,500 gold away. Maybe they can also wait for that. I'm not sure how pressured they're going to feel, especially seems like Roche. It's actually a 2-minute 15 respawn timer. So yeah, they've got plenty of opportunity to farm these next items up.
This is a very close game right now, not only in terms of gold, but when you look at the two teams, the only advantage I would give a little bit to Nemiga is because of the vision from the clock and from the Luna. So I think Nemiga should be waiting for nighttime to fight, and perfectly for them, the Roche will spawn literally at nighttime. I think that is the main thing here, because who gets the better jump is the one that's going to be winning the fight for sure. If you jump the Luna first, if you are able to, or the Kunkka, you're able to burst them down, they don't have buybacks, it's going to be a big deal. And also buybacks are going to be a big deal for this Roche. Of course, with HYDRA having towers close to the Roche pit with their tier 1 still alive, this outpost really won't be giving that much of a advantage to Nemiga. So it's all going to be about the buybacks around this Roche, unless Nemiga make a nice play right now. But HYDRA seem to be ready.
Yeah, it's very, very true. Oh, jump forwards, Heaven. He's found the Phoenix. In comes Reri to make space for support, and then they get the follow-up of the LSA. Down goes the Shadow Shaman straight off the bat, but the follow-up engagement onto Arsgold. He just dies so quickly. The BKB came out way too late. The first half of the race king also being expended. ICQ trying to get some sort of grab there in the back lines, but the BKB was there from the Kunkka as well. He just successfully retreats. The second buyback here from Arsgold already been expended. They have got the stun onto Vanscore, but he's inside those cogs. Yeah, he should be able to disengage. And no one else could get caught right now. So as it stands, Nemiga very happy about that. I mean, they did expend a buyback there for their support, but forcing one out from Arsgold is just a huge victory. Actually, fights might not even be over right now. These two teams are still super close to each other, just constantly denying wards, trying to get his vision advantage as much as possible.
Man, Vanscore is single-handedly winning these fights ever since the top lane. Remember the cogs pushback into the torrent combo that he performed with Monreal? He has been crushing it since then. Every single time he's focusing on the Lina, and now HYDRA, they want to smoke. They have the reincarnation back up. The problem is they don't have the dragon form, they don't have the egg, but they want to surprise their enemies, because if they wait, it's gonna be such a big deal. And so many buybacks on Nemiga.
Oh, they put down that observer ward, and it just about catches the back end of that smoke. So they know that this is happening here from Nemiga. They're going to move back inside their own triangle. Maybe they can mount some sort of sneaky high ground defense right now, as this will catch Nemiga unprepared. The jump force there from the Wraith gets an immediate stun on towards the Shadow Shaman. He's getting control of, but that's the first life gone already. ICQ, he's going to be able to get the grab here on towards the Shaman. Not before he gets those snakes down, though. At the same time, Vanscore also dropping, going to expend his own buyback. Arsgold this time is not going to fall prey to the clockwork initiation. He's going to be able to disengage right now. In goes Rary yet again. Gets the stun onto Luna, but still not enough follow-up. LSA just about connects onto the Kunkka. So ICQ's there once more. They're focused onto the Visage. The egg off to the side, but still the Wraith King just dies. Arsgold also gone. Where's all this damage coming from? Everyone on the side of HYDRA is getting shredded to pieces, but so is the Luna. The damage coming up from the Phoenix. Everyone's dropping like flies right now. Rary, he bought back for this. He's going to be able to get involved. The Chosen One, the only survivor from the Nemiga, he's trying to take down Koval as well, and he just about brings down the Phoenix, but it costs him his own life as well as his familiars. So as it stands, it was a 6 for 5 trade with 3 buybacks in total. Insane fight.
Yeah, a really big fight. And when you ask where's the damage coming from, who is doing this much, it was the Luna. Rary and ICQ came next to each other and they started fighting the Luna, but when you're so close to each other, the glaives, they absolutely demolish you. Still, with the Roche going to HYDRA, we can definitely say that they're the victors of that fight. And the one who made it all happen was the Phoenix. He didn't have his supernova, but he bought a refresher during that fight. When the fight started, he bought a refresher, he used it. He used the egg, and that sunray from the egg with the shard, it was the thing that changed the fight. He started off the fight on the Phoenix as level 17, and he ended it with level 21, completely crushing it and turning it around. And with Luna now having a 6-second BKB, she's not gonna have a good time any longer. He definitely needs that Satanic, because he's gonna be taking so much damage just from the sunray, and that's without thinking about the physical damage coming out from the Lina and the Wraith King.
Yeah, 100%. It was a huge pivotal point. I think the one thing that Nemiga can take out of that, though, is the fact that the Luna did not spend her own buyback. So, you know, they do have that slight advantage that they could look forward to. And if they do obviously kill this Wraith King, again, he will be dead for the extended respawn time and with the buyback on cooldown, which could give them a nice opportunity to you know, start taking some objectives themselves, but they have to get that key bit of initiation first and actually start coming out on top again. I mean, they've also got the refresher shard here in the hands of Rary. Do you think they pass that over to someone, or is he going to hold it for double reincarnate, double BKB?
He's gonna hold it for sure, because he doesn't have the buyback. One thing that we didn't mention is that all 3 cores of HYDRA did buyback in that fight. So this Aegis, this advantage that they have, they're gonna have to use it to just keep the game even until they get their buybacks back, because they could easily lose the game. But just as you're missing core buybacks on HYDRA, missing support buybacks on Nemiga is a big problem as well, especially on Vanscore. If Vanscore dies at the start of the fight, this Lina is gonna be untouched. And if there's someone who can win a fight against the Luna, is this Lina, because before the Luna can even get close, the Lina will crush her. So that is a big deal for sure. So despite it only being cores, or it only being supports on the side of Nemiga that don't have buybacks, the supports are very important in enabling their teammates, especially the Clockwork. Even the Shaman is big, but you know, he can get stunned up, he dies quite easily. The Clockwork, he goes in with the hook shot, he uses the cogs, and suddenly all of these heroes on the side of Nemiga, on the side of HYDRA, are in such a bad spot for the Luna just to absolutely annihilate them. We saw that damage in the previous fight, 7,000 damage. It's not like he was attacking all the time.
Yeah, very, very true. It feels like every fight that Nemiga have come out on top is because Vanscore was there with like a hook shot onto Arsgold and then just pushing the lean with the cogs into Torrent. And that has how they've won their previous 3 fights. So yeah, definitely that is his one sole target. All he needs to do is hook this Lina, and yeah, they can start winning these fights again. Obviously, with the Aegis still in the hands of ICQ for 2 more minutes, and it looks like Hydra actually going to gather up right now and try and make some sort of play whilst they still have this advantage. Depends who they're going to end up finding. But, well, it will just be the entirety of Nemiga, as they themselves are all huddled up as a 5 right now, just underneath their own observer ward, trying to play it as safe as possible. Actually, Hydra doesn't even go for a smoke. They're all just chilling.
Yeah, they want their buybacks back. They don't, even if they would go in and, you know, you kill, let's say, Luna, Kunkka, they buy back and you lose all of your heroes, you could lose the game. Luna is one of those heroes. Once she gets into your base, it's gone. You don't have the base anymore. The one big thing also to point out is that these familiars are gonna hurt. The Luna got her plus 35 lunar blessing damage. So look at the familiars. They pretty much do 150 damage each per hit, and we all know how fast they attack. So that is a big thing as well, especially with the Visage having the boots of the bearing. So that's gonna be even more damage coming out. With Visage approaching level 25, dealing with 3 familiars not gonna be easy. And Hydra, they're going for a smoke. How long until Asgold has buyback? 1 minute. Okay, so it's gonna be good enough, I guess.
Yeah, they got the jump there onto the Chosen One. Obviously, was able to use his little stone form to avoid a majority of the damage. Morton's case is doing absolutely nothing. Able to pop his BKB immediately, and Hydra just have to disengage. But actually, Heaven, he doesn't care about people with disengage. He jumps in. He does get controlled, though. Can't really find anything off of that. Rary's in there, man fighting Monreal right now. The Cogs trapping him in. Vansco has to get the 4 staff out to the side, and Kicked just using those spy legs, get up to the high ground, going to cut off the retreat of the Clockwork, and he will go down.
High ground.
Both supports on Nemiga in the dirt. And yeah, this is the perfect opportunity for Hydra to start taking those objectives.
Asgold might die here. Let's see if Kiritich can get him down. No, he's not even gonna attempt. Okay. Mid lane.
Playing it safe. Yeah, has to TP back to base. Creeps are here. There's not even a glyph available from Nemiga to just put an immediate stop to this push. But actually, jump force of Rary again. Gets a nice stun there onto the Chosen One, followed up by the DK. But still, look how fast that hero is. Just flies away in seconds. And now Rary, his first life is going to get expended right now. Obviously, still has the BKB. Aegis just expired as well for ICQ, but look how quickly these buildings drop. We said in game number 1 they had terrible building push, but not this time round. Arsgold just shreds these to pieces. Jumps force to Heaven, trying to get the grab as well. Doesn't quite get a connection onto Lina, and now he just gets deleted yet again. Everyone's popping their BKBs. Monreal having to go for the TP out. Is he going to be able to make it? The bash, it comes in. They take him out. He does have a buyback, though. He might be forced to use it, and he will. The hookshot falls from Ranscore. He gets the grab onto Arsgold, but still not enough follow-up. Triple kill there for them. They follow up. Heaven's also dead. Both supports once again gone. The Chosen One with his own BKB trying to do what he can, but he's only got 1 familiar left, and his ultimate's on cooldown for 90 seconds. And yeah, this could be the GG push. What can Nemiga do?
Without their support.
3 versus 5.
I don't know.
I mean, the glyph does come back at least, so that's going to buy some time, but only a little bit. Look how quickly these buildings fall. Just getting torn to pieces right now. Nemiga, they can't deliberate for too long. They've got to make a decision. Who do they go on? What are they waiting for? They get stunned up there onto the Chosen One. Kachon from the LSA. He's going to get taken out. They're going on to Arsgold. There is going to be a refresh roll from Kirit that just got delivered right now. So he's got double beam. He's got the double BKB as well. And then the Kunkka's just controlled. He cannot do any sort of damage. And now it's just a Luna on her own. But objective Dota from Hydra. They just take the throne. They take the game. And they take the whole series 2-0.
Oh man, Kiritich was such a coward in that fight. He was like, am I gonna go in? What am I gonna do? I can't do it, guys. I'm just gonna run. And he just values his own life more than an ancient in a game that is called Defense of the Ancients. But I'm not gonna definitely put this one on him. Nemiga gave us a really awesome game. It looked like Hydra were gonna crush them, literally. But I have to say, Vanscore, if Nemiga had won, he would have been the definite MVP of this game. Obviously, not gonna be the case. It was actually Cowell. So the battle of the supports here, the Phoenix turning that fight around in their own triangle was probably the key moment for Hydra in this later portion of the game. Of course, for Nemiga, the key point was when they killed Asgold. He bought back and they killed him again, and both of those fights were set up quite nicely for both teams. So I was impressed with both of them. Just in the end, Hydra on the back of the Phoenix, getting the kill there, and of course understanding throughout the game they didn't know who are we gonna go for first. We don't want to kill a support first, but then they understood that this Clockwork and the Shadow Shaman, they were the problem. When they die,
Yeah.
the 3 cores, you saw Nemiga, they were helpless. They run in, they die. They run in, they die because there's no one to split up the fight with the clock and the without the clock and the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, 100%. They were the key space makers, and even just like their end net worth, both supports on the side of Nemiga only had 5,000, where Kicked and Koval had at least 15,000. So it just shows you that they were throwing their bodies in the front line, trying to make all the space for their cause they possibly could, but eventually it just wasn't enough. HYDRA were just too damn strong. And yeah, even though they did punish Arsgold quite a lot, like 3 fights in a row, Vanscore was on top of him, took him out of the fight, sort of tilted him a bit with that dieback in the middle fight there, but just didn't really seem like enough. HYDRA just kept their cool, nice and calm, and they just ended up taking the way. It was very good.
Yeah, very good. This series, even though it was a 2-0, it was quality Dota. I was impressed by both teams. I was impressed by most of the players, the spell usage, the ideas, the movements around the map. Everything was top notch. And there were a few mistakes, of course, but that's what Dota is. When you make a lot of moves, you're bound to make a mistake here and there. But these two teams, I definitely like how they played, and it wouldn't surprise me if Nemiga battles their way through the lower bracket, because they have shown that they have a lot of potential. I would be really sad if they would just lose and be eliminated, but I have no doubt, even if that would happen in a very unlikely scenario, that they would come back through the open qualifiers for tour number 3. So HYDRA and Nemiga, just awesome from them. And HYDRA, I like this new team. They definitely know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, 100%. It seemed really clean. I mean, yeah, it wasn't like it was 2 really one-sided games. They were both so back and forth. You know, it really could have gone either way in multiple situations, which is what we love to see. You know, that's what leads to the really entertaining Dota. You hate to see like 2-0s where it was just clearly one-sided, but it just was not the case now. Still a 2-0, but a good 2-0. But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. There is, I didn't do the boys and girls, see, I held off again because of you. That is obviously it. No more Dota 2 today. I will be back tomorrow for the next set of games, which will be Rune Eaters versus Wayfarers, and then afterwards Nemiga versus the outcome of the second game. You're not going to be there with me tomorrow, are you? You're abandoning me.
Yeah, I'm abandoning you. I've already told the management, just get me away from this guy. Just kidding, of course. Had a lot of fun today, but it's just what the scheduling is. Tomorrow you're going to be working with Windblade. I'm going to be working with Robin Roll, and hopefully the viewers are going to have fun even with those duos that we have set up for tomorrow.
100%. Always going to be fun. Always going to be entertaining Dotes. And yeah, thanks for joining in with me, Hairy Freak. Fantastic games. Really fun evening. Fun Dota as well all around. And yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So do come back tomorrow for some more games of the DPC East EU Division 2. I mean, we know that there is the major going on, guys, but who cares about the major? This is more entertaining. Do you not agree? This is where the Dotes clearly is at. So
and here is where the here's where the handsome casters are at. So feel also, so that's the other thing. I'm definitely certain that the the ladies will be watching this stream more than the gentlemen, you know. So I'm kind of sad that we're taking that one away from the major, but you know, it is what it is.
You know, they get enough viewers. You know, they don't get any pity from me. All right. But that is it. I'm going to just swap to the standby screen while everything winds down, guys. But again, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you all in the near future. See you later, guys.